So this girl will be how old? 5 years old. Can you guys believe it? Like, oh my god, this girl will be 5 years old. This video will come out on Tuesday. This girl will be 5 on Wednesday. Like, I just want to cry. All right, get out.
Bye.
Bye, kid. Hey guys, Cece back with another video, and today's video is going to be super fun because it is day 2 of Favorites Week. Alright y'all, so before we get into this video, yes, I am wearing mini ears. We just came back from Disney on Ice with the kids. They had so much fun. I'm so happy we were able to go again this year, and I don't know, I love going. My mom goes with us, my husband goes, and then the girls, and we just had a ball. So we just got back from there, so that's why I'm wearing mini ears, and I decided to keep them on for the video. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel if it is your first time watching me. Hopefully you like what you see and you want to come back. Also make sure you're clicking that notification bell to make sure that you are always notified of all of my future videos. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This video is going to be all of my absolute favorite palettes, face and eye, and then all of my favorite single blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. And I really don't have that many, at least by my standards, but I picked the ones that I use the most, the best of the best, the ones that I felt really spoke to me in 2018, okay? If this is your first video in this series watching, there was a video posted yesterday, and there will be a video posted for the rest of the week. Monday through Friday, you guys will see my face, so just make sure you go ahead and watch those videos. I will link them up here and also down below as they become available. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. The first thing I want to start with is eyeshadow palettes. I chose 3, and these are the 3 again that I just used the most this year. The ones that I found myself going back to every single time. And the first one is actually the oldest one. It came out, I believe, in February or March of 2018, and I've been obsessed with it. Like, obsessed ever since. It's an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette, and it's called the Soft Glam eyeshadow palette. So this is how it looks. If you guys have not seen this, I know you have, but this is how it looks, and this palette is so amazing. I mean, you could take this traveling with you wherever you go. It has all the shades you will need for any type of look. You get a black in here, you get a bunch of browns, you get some really cute shimmers in here. You can do sultry looks, you can do nude looks, looks for work, looks for church, looks for going out with your man or woman. You can do looks for any occasion with this palette. It will not fail you. The colors are so pretty. They're so pigmented, they're buttery, they blend. What more can you ask for from a palette? This was definitely one of my favorite palettes in 2018. Moving right along, another palette that I purchased in 2018 was the ColourPop and Makeup Shayla Perception palette. Now this palette here, this palette had such gorgeous colors in it. I mean, just such gorgeous different colors, but not too different and too off the mark where you wouldn't use it. Like, it was neutral, but then you got those pops of colors that you could really take your look to another level. So you have this blue here, you have a black in here, and this is a shimmery black. You have this like lavender purple, I don't know how you really say it. You have this nice orange crease shade here, this hunter greenish color, and then this was my favorite shade. It was called Sassy, and it was like an, I don't know, kind of like an iridescent shade. It kind of, look at it, it kind of changes colors depending on how the light's hitting it. This was such a beautiful palette, and I just commend Shayla for this palette. I think she did an awesome job. ColourPop, of course, their shadows are amazing. If you guys haven't tried a ColourPop shadow, not really sure what you're waiting on, but this is such a great palette. You can use it for travel. It's not gonna break on you or anything like that, and it does have a really nice big mirror. Last but not least, for eyeshadows, I chose the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette in, which one is this? Bling Boss? I forgot. Ring the Alarm. I went back and forth between Bling Boss and Ring the Alarm, but I chose Ring the Alarm to go in my favorites because I use this one just a little bit more. So this palette is another neutral palette. I have a problem, I know, but it has like these like kind of reddish tone shades right here, which I really love. And I promise you guys, I use this palette so much. This palette, obviously there was a lot of controversy surrounding the launch of the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault, but I didn't get any bad palettes. I got the entire vault, all 4 palettes, and none of my palettes had any issues. I thought this was one of the most beautiful palettes I've ever used. And I'm not a huge Jaclyn Hill fan or anything like that, but when I saw this palette or that vault collection, I knew I had to get it, and it definitely didn't disappoint. Alright, so moving on to the face palettes, I have 4 palettes here that I really use to death, that you guys actually saw just a lot in all of my videos, like a lot of my makeup tutorials and all of that. First one I want to show you is, now we're going to go in opposite order. This is the newest one that I got, and I got this one like end of October, very early November, and I debated if I should slide it in this video just because it was so new. But I've used it so much, like I feel like I can honestly say that I love it, and this is one of my favorites of 2018, and that is the Laura Mercier Stardust Radiant Glow Palette. You guys have heard me talk about this 10 million times just in the last 2 months, and for good reason. I have not heard many people talking about this palette, but I'm not sure why, because this holiday collection by Laura Mercier, oh, this palette just blew everything out of the water. I mainly use these 2 shades right here. Like this one I use a lot on like my cheekbones, and then this one I use a lot in the inner corner. And then I've also mixed these 2, and I've also mixed this one and this one and this one and this one. I've kind of did every combination that you can do with this palette, and I'm just so in love with every single color that I get. It's not one of those like super in your face highlights, but it's just so pretty, and it's not like chunky glitter. It's almost a sheen on your face, which is what I prefer over glitter. So just really in love with this palette. I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, I would definitely try to get your hands on it. Another palette that you guys have seen on my channel 5 million times is the NARS Wanted 2 palette. I bought this I think very early in the year, like February or March, and I haven't put it down since, which says a lot seeing as how that was a year ago almost. I can't get it open. I always have an issue getting this open. So this is how the palette looks on the inside. Once again, you get a big, beautiful mirror, and then you get 6 shades. This one actually consists of highlights and blushes. I steered clear of a few of them, but I used the hell out of this highlighter right here. This one is called Exposed, and then I used the hell out of these, I guess these 3 blushes right here. So this one is Queen, this one is Taos, I don't know, and this middle one is Ambition. So I use those colors religiously. I'm still using them. This goes in my everyday makeup drawer because I use it all the time. I also took it traveling with me this year, and I mean, I'm just in love with it. Such a great palette. It's a little pricey. It's $59, but I think it's worth every penny. Alright, so let's move on into some contour palettes. I have 2 to show you guys here. One I got in a BoxyCharm, which usually I love the things that I get in my BoxyCharms. You guys know I always hype up BoxyCharm, and there's a link down below if you ever want to sign up. I keep the link in my description box. But you guys know I love everything that's in my BoxyCharm, but I don't often keep those in like my normal rotation. This one palette right here has stayed in my normal rotation since I've gotten it, and I can't remember. I think I got it very early last year, like February, January, something super early last year, and I've been using it ever since. And it's the Pure Sculptor palette. It's a highlight and contour palette, and oh my god, when I first saw that I was getting this, I was like, I don't think those contour colors never match me. Like, they just never do what I want them to do when I get a contour palette in like a box or something. But these 2 shades are deep enough for me, and they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is my go-to contour palette. It's the one that I use. It's the one that I travel with, especially when I'm trying to be minimal with my makeup. I'll just travel with this for contour and highlight, and it's so perfect because I don't have to throw all that stuff in my makeup bag. Like, look at that shade. Just look at it. No words. No words for that highlight. And these are like blinging ass highlights. So I'm not sure where you can get this, if this was only like a BoxyCharm exclusive, but if not, look up Pure Sculptor palette. So the last palette that I have that is another love of mine that I got earlier this year was the MAC Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette. And one thing I hated about this palette though, I felt like MAC was so late to the contour palette game. This reminds me a lot of the original Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I haven't used that in such a long time, but this MAC Sculptor palette I really love. I feel like this is nice because the shades are super creamy and blendable. I mean, honestly, this blends out like a dream. I call this a really good beginner's contour palette because you don't have to do much to get the shades to blend out for you. Some contour palettes or contour powders in general, you really have to kind of work them in to make them look good on your skin. This you do not. They just blend out so well, and I just love them. So lastly, let's move into the individual shades. I have 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, 2 bronzers. We'll start with the blushes. I don't dabble in blush very much anymore. I have some blush palettes, and I know I decluttered a whole lot of blushes this summer because I just have way more than I need, and now it's down. It's still a lot. I still have like 20, I think, but they're like the best of the best, the ones that I love, and I try not to purchase too many blushes either because I tend to stick with the same shades. So these 2 blushes, see, I'm gonna show you these, but just being honest, I almost feel like I'm reaching. This one blush, no, I use this all the time, but this other blush, this is a newer one, and so I was debating about putting it in here, but I guess I can mention it. So that's the e.l.f. Always Spicy blush, and I've been loving this the last few months, but again, I just got this a month ago. I think a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, but this blush is really pretty. It is a recommendation from Andrea Renee. I watch her videos all the time. She's so cute, and she recommends this blush all the time, and so I tried it by e.l.f. and I think this is a really great find. Don't know if I can say it's a yearly favorite yet. Not sure why I picked this out to put it in the video, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. But the blush that I do have sitting in front of me that I do really love and really use all the time, and I've been using it a lot, is the NARS blush in Gulu. I want to say this was a Sephora birthday gift, and my birthday is in February, which is coming up by the way, but my birthday is in February, so I got this in February of last year and have literally been using it since I got it and been loving it. It's such a great year-round shade, you know, not too deep, not too light skin, and just a really good year-round shade. It'll show up on any skin tone, so I think this is a really nice blush from NARS, and y'all know their blush formula is amazing. All right, we're getting through this, you guys. Let's go with bronzers. 2 bronzers that really have my heart last year. And the first one is the Pure Cosmetics bronzer in Bronzing Act. Apparently, I really loved their bronzers this year. So this is how it looks. And when I first got it in the mail, I was like, this is not going to be dark enough to bronze me the way I want to. But once you put it on your skin and like swirl it in and mix all these shades together, you see how beautiful this bronzer is. I use it to bronze, and I've also used it to contour, and I love it for both. This one, yeah, it's in Bronzing Act, so it's a matte bronzer in dark, so it's a darker shade, but I have been obsessed with this. I'm not even a big Pure Cosmetics fan, but these 2, like the contour kit that I showed you and then this bronzer, they've been staples. The last bronzer I have is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. She actually came out with bronzers earlier this year, and this one in Cappuccino has been a really good one. The powder formula is very nice. It's a very soft, very soft powder, and I think there's like 6 or 8 shades, so a lot of people can find their shades in the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzers, so I would definitely check those out if you're in the market for another bronzer. Last category, let's talk highlighters. I only have 2 highlighters here because I feel like I used a lot of highlighters in those palettes that I showed you, but the 2 single highlighters that I use the most, I'm sure you guys can guess at least one of them. The first one being the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. Anastasia is all up and through this video because honestly their products are second to none. Like, they just make amazing products, eye products, face products, lip products. I love them all. So this one was no different. This is from, I think she's an Instagram girl, Reezy, and she's so gorgeous. And this highlighter, I mean, just look at the embossment on it. Like, how cute is that? It makes you not even want to use it, right? But the highlighter is this blinging, banging, like gold highlighter. Like, it's crazy pigmented. So love this. And last but not least, I have the Essence Sunlighter. This pure nude sunlighter I've talked about, I couldn't tell you how many times. I love these Essence highlighters. They have the pure nude highlighter, which I also love, but ever since I've gotten this sunlighter, I put the highlighter to the back burner and have been using this. This one is more for deeper skin tones, so it's really nice for us melanin sisters and brothers, and just love it, love it. This is $4.99 and one of the best highlighters that I have ever used. It's just such a nice everyday, like, bronzy shade. Gives you that nice, like, lit from within glow. But that is it, you guys. That wraps up day 2 of 2018 favorites week. I hope you guys enjoyed my picks. Let me know what your favorite blush, bronzer, and highlighter has been for the year. I would love to know what you guys have been loving. Also, eyeshadow palettes. Tell me what eyeshadow palettes you've been loving. I know I decluttered a lot of eyeshadow palettes this year, but I also purchased a lot this year. So the ones that I chose really were the best of the best in my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on my social media, my Instagram, my Snapchat, and also my Facebook fan page. Those are the best ways to keep up with me in between uploads. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.